bro. But then the thing is, you two, especially
just
as
know,
you
yes.
two as Nigerian man, you go. You know when foreign babe they tell you some sweet nothings, you two go.
You know, like, I know. Oh man, I know.
And then the third day, this girl told me. What up, people? It's your favorite podcast man back again with another one. I'm Michael Scenario.
And I'm very welcome, Koya.
And you're welcome to Menisms, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? My G? How about it?
Good as always.
Oh, good, man. I want to start off the show very interestingly. Like,
you've seen a few things on your phone.
I was actually just scrolling and I saw something. But before we talk about that, go and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to all our audio platforms, our new YouTube channel, Menisms channel. So you can see us every time we're dropping an episode. So it's not like you will say, oh, we missed out. But I was looking at something and it was a post that said, a man bought a house for his baby mom and kids, but his girlfriend broke up with him for that same reason. And when I saw that, I was just like, damn, this is something we wanted to talk about. Just like, damn, there's some really toxic women out there. But there's going to be women that might have a problem with what he did. Meanwhile, there's others that will say, like, at least he's stepping up. When I saw it, I was just like, if the man is able to provide for everybody that's involved in the picture.
I was about to say, I don't think there's any
problem. I don't see the issue, but there's some women that, like I said, they're territorial. They don't want that stuff. Like, when they're yours, when you're theirs, they are theirs. So, I mean, like, what do you think? First off, before we get into the topic, even, like, that situation you heard about now, what do you think of it?
I mean, so for me, again, you raise the first point. If he can buy stuff for his girlfriend, more, or just take care of her, like, provide all she needs. I mean, I see where she may have a problem with territory, but she should also understand that it's a responsibility I have outside of the relationship we have,
bro,
to take care of the actual children.
If it was the case that he just bought the house for the ex-wife,
right?
That's different.
And even maybe with the motive of trying to see if they can rekindle things.
But he said he bought a house for the baby mom and his children, which means now she doesn't have to go look for a house. She doesn't have to at least stress herself about certain things because he as a man has handled it, which is what a lot of women will say they want a man to do. But now that he's doing it, the new girlfriend now is like, is she trying to say, why have you not bought me a house? Because again, your girlfriend. You're not even permanent right now. Let's call it straight.
To be honest, the wife actually holds a lot more.
His wife, the being baby mom, she's there for life.
Sorry, not his wife, his baby mama. Yeah,
she's there for life. You on the other hand, you're still trying to work your way.
And it's a baby mama that has children, not one child. Children. So
and she should have known too, because I feel like a lot of women now, because I always hear these jokes about some women will say, I can't date a man with a child, all this stuff. But then if you end up doing so now,
you should know what comes with it.
You're never going to be that's deep though. You're never going to be first.
Actually, well, it depends on the relationship. I see what you mean. Like, in the reality of things, she would always come before, in the sense of she has.
I'm not talking about before the baby mom. Like, the baby mom is the baby mom. She's in the picture, but she ain't gonna become first. But he has his kids who are still affiliated to her.
Like the hierarchy is still like, you're gonna be maybe like number 4. Again, I mean, it's supposed to be what comes with.
No, number 4. No, that's quite low now.
Why is it quite low?
Because the children are first.
No, you do realize, like, one thing about baby mama relationships that we always think is just toxic and it's just bad. Sometimes it could just be
they're healthy ones.
Exactly.
And then there's some that they don't even communicate. It's just the kids keep it at it.
And my point is that there are also some that he still likes the woman. The woman just cannot be with him. Think about that.
That's a different situation.
She's still his baby mama, and so he might still have the feelings, but she's the one saying, "No, I can't be with you." But when we have children together, we have to coexist and find out how it's going to work. If that's
so, why have a new girlfriend then?
Because he's trying to move on. He knows he cannot have this. Baby mama's already told him, forget it. It's never happening. In fact, maybe she's even seen somebody else. Man has to move on.
Thank God I've not been there. I will not be there in Jesus'
So he has to move on and have a girlfriend or whatever it is. So that's where she becomes number. Because
but I think it was also a good test for him though, because the way the girlfriend broke up with him because of that reason, is that somebody you want to keep in your life for so long?
Exactly, I totally agree.
And as I said, let's be real, the West culture is a different ball game. I don't want to say just America because it happens in every country around the world, but the way it's most popular. and even glamorized to an extent.
To an extent, bro, there are shows based on.
It's like in
mama
America,
culture.
like that baby mama thing is just casual. Like, we're having a kid together. Okay, I'm like, do you people not realize what having a child is
There's
together?
a lot, like, bro, and not just that, like just having a child that just would not have the basics of a mother and father type of family, like. But we digress.
No, I mean it's part of it. No, it's part of it though. Like, because I feel like the way they glamorize it, right? It promotes toxic habits or toxic relationships to an extent, because you just said it yourself. You've seen shows of it and all. You don't really see. And correct me if I'm wrong, our viewers, but you don't see a lot of shows that promote healthy relationships, but a lot of shows that promote these toxic relationships or these one-sided stuff that make you
like
feel
guy,
like,
I have
this
a baby
is
with
not.
this guy. I'm the one that has more
Nah,
priority. Like,
B.
oh no, I'm his girlfriend. I'm the one that has. I mean, you see a lot of this clash, and you see people thrive off it. I mean, they make. I mean, there's a reason why these shows are shows, because people make money off it. They have viewers.
Like, even now, the age we are, like, when you deep it, like, you can easily, well, I'm not saying in this country there aren't women that don't have kids at this age, but if we go to the West now, if me and you just go and put ourselves in America or even England to an extent,
It's a normal thing.
we can go and sit down there and meet a kid, meet a lady, like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 30 and all that. How old are you? Okay, I'm 27, but I have a 4-year-old, 5-year-old.
Let me even tell you. So apparently, it's even like a first day question situation. Like in Nigeria, it's not like that.
Yeah, nobody ever asks on the first day question, you know,
No one
asking, do you have any
asks
kids?
But
It's
out
just-
there, it's like, oh yeah, so okay, what do you do? Do you have any children?
the amount of women during my tour in America, the amount of women that would like meet me, not even like in a dating way, like,
Yeah,
we'll be out,
just
like, oh,
like-
nice to meet you. Talk like, so, how many kids do you have?
Because it's supposed to be. No, they're like 30. There's no way you're that old and you don't have at least one or two. Exactly. So I mean,
and this is another thing. This is why I say Nigerian men. You guys like attacking us Nigerian men, but the same Nigerian men you meet, unless they were married before. How many casual baby daddies that are Nigerian men?
There are. No, there are. But like the statistics and the way it works and the glamorization, like you said, like
it's more.
We
Black
don't
Americans
celebrate
or
it as
people
much
abroad.
as they make it a thing. In fact, it's a lot of girls in America would really literally even grow up with the hope to be baby mamas to people that are popular. Like that's their thing. That's what they want. And I'm just like,
Didn't you just see? There's a girl now recently that just came out to like NBA YoungBoy, like, oh, he flew me out and I'm now pregnant with his child, but he's been trying to hit me up, but I don't even want that. I just want the back. I said, God forbid. It's like the way you're able to open your chest and even say him too is stupid. I mean,
course,
well,
naturally.
is he stupid? Let's take that back, because men too are stupid. Because what did he probably do? Saw a girl online that he likes. They probably chatted. She consensually agreed to come on the trip. He paid for everything. Didn't make you pay. You had a good time. You fornicated. Okay. You agreed to it.
And now
You
the
go home. All of a
consequences
sudden,
waiting for
I'm
you.
pregnant. Fuck him.
So I think So I also even think like So obviously we know that some American guys love toxic women. Like they love the idea.
American guys or all guys?
No, they say like we'll start with that. We'll start because we've been talking about that premise and we'll work our way back. So we know that they like that whole, I've got like 11 children with 10 different women. I mean, it's a whole thing, right? It's a whole
10. God forbid that.
it's a whole thing. But the thing is, that's toxicity on that side, right? We may not have that kind of toxicity, but in Nigeria, we have our own kind. We have different kind. We have the people who, they like women who are just verbally abusive.
That's around the world now.
No?
But I get what you mean. Like, that,
The average Nigerian babe will call you big head before you know she likes you.
Is that insult?
See my point? You've already been conditioned. Like, I'm
That's
sorry.
not-
but-
not conditioned.
No.
That's
I'm giving you an example of how it starts. This is how it starts.
Maybe because I'm looking
Express yourself. Tell me you like me.
Okay,
Tell
so
me,
you said
this is
that
how I
big,
feel.
if you say big head, you're right, it's conditioned, because there's certain insults, like for example, like you say, if we're comparing, Nigerian babe go say big head, I see this boy, or like as I've been learning this term from the Yankee babes, gaslighting.
Right.
As in, they'll gaslight you
Yeah,
in
of
a way.
course.
If that's your toxic, I can't handle that. But you see Yankee that will be cursing you out like, hey, motherfucker, and all this. Motherfucker.
But so,
From
but would you say, okay, so generally, like from the guys you've interacted with, would you say that guys like toxic women? Or would you say that
Everybody
it's because we've seen it as normal that we take it?
Everybody likes a little bit of toxic. It's exciting. Like, okay, with Niger babes now, you know the kind of trouble they can bring in terms of from an emotional standpoint.
Okay, we
It's
spoke
gonna
about
be a
the bit
lot
of
of
something.
back and forth, like that fight before you two officially now say we don't like each other.
Exactly.
There's that tension of back and forth, like face me, I face you. Okay, power. Who has the power in this one? That's like the toxic relationships we have here compared to some of the other toxic relationships now. Like just comparing. I mean, I like the Niger toxic because that's what I can handle, please.
I don't think
But
the one I've
toxic,
experienced. I don't
I
want
mean,
to
I've
pick.
experienced we've experienced worse, but I'm just saying if I had to pick, because there's
Oh, yeah,
Yankee
for
toxic
sure.
where it's like I'm pulling
sure.
up to your house unannounced.
My
Oh,
mental health cannot handle that
I'm
Yankee
tapping
one.
your phone. You don't see those TikToks? They'll joke saying when I put the air tag in her car and I'm just watching it from the screen and I'm watching.
like,
I say,
what kind of lifestyle is that? What do you?
bro, it's not worth it.
It's
If I
honestly
have to
crazy.
keep tabs on you, then it's not even worth keeping
Yeah,
the
it's
relationship.
crazy.
But I would say, guys, every guy likes a bit of toxic, but there's a point you get to that is like, I just need help.
I was going to say that, like, I think only guys only like to, well, no, I can't speak for everybody. I personally have only I didn't like toxic at some point, but it felt like something that had to come with the package. And so it felt like something that had to like with the rest of her. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, okay, say for example, again, this is personal experience. I'm obviously not going to say what relationship or if it was even a girlfriend, but personal experience of, someone I'm talking to with, liking, whatever it is, and we have a bit of a fallout, right? In fact, let me say a proper relationship. We're dating, right? And we had a bit of a fallout, maybe an argument, everything, and then she blocks me everywhere. Now this is someone that I am dating. No, I'm not that we are talking, getting to know each other. So what's this like? Bye, bro. We're
Bye.
dating. We're 1 year in. You're my girlfriend, and then you
Are
block
you
me
my
everywhere.
girlfriend? Oh, you just called you just said there's no water. So was she your girlfriend? Yes or no?
She was my girlfriend. That's what I'm saying. So she was my girlfriend.
So she was your bitch.
She was my babe.
Okay.
We had already been dating 1 year in.
All right.
Yeah, it was about a year in, or maybe like 9-10 months, but almost a year in.
So from that fight, she blocked you on
She
everything.
blocked me everywhere. Like, I cannot reach her. She blocked me. No, I'm sorry, but when I look back at it, that's madness.
If you can't talk to, if we
Block
were
me
dating,
on, and then socials were not so popular then. So if she was gonna block me, we weren't doing WhatsApp then. So we were either doing BBM
oh them days.
or we're doing like text messaging.
If you blocked me, bah.
And then you know how that BBM blocking used to be. Like, you would feel it. Because that's
but-
when the blocking culture started. You would really feel it.
Because the thing is, if we can't talk about it, I mean, obviously it's easier said than done now as adults.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But if we can't talk about the fight we're having now, if you block me after we've had our final says and all that, fair enough. It don't happen.
No, that's
but if we
different,
just
yeah.
fought and your first reaction is block, when I move on, don't come back to me. Because if we couldn't talk about it, then you made a decision to move on already. Because I'm not doing this thing where it's like,
Thank you very much.
Come and chase me. Oh, email me.
Okay,
You're a
so you
bastard.
see, now here's where the toxicity comes in, right? So she's blocked me. I think it was on maybe 24 hours. Obviously, she knows I've tried to reach her. I've tried to text her, and I see that I've been blocked. I said in my mind, mentally, I'm like, fuck this babe. I'm not even interested. Obviously, I'm in love with her, but I'm saying fuck this babe because I'm like, what is this? And the next thing, she would text me or call me, maybe like the next day. Now, when I think back on things like that, I'm just thinking, she might have used that to cheat. But I digress. So she would call me the next day, and obviously, because she knows how I feel towards her, she would then now say these sweet words like, so because I blocked you, you're now... Bro, that's the most toxic shit I can think of. Of course, we still dated another 2 years in after that incident.
So you like
where
it?
I still got blocked.
You like this?
So I did, like, at some point, I thought, like I said, I was explaining that it came with the package, and I thought I had to like that part to like the rest of her. It's now that growing up, I understand that, yeah, that was toxic. That was not deserving of a loving relationship.
I get okay.
But at the time I was young, I felt like, to have, and I guess she was a baddie at the time. So to have someone like her, it needed to come with the package. And it almost felt like, so you think you get it? You know how they say, bad girl with a better attitude. I'm sorry, but no, don't bring me attitude.
Because
I'm
I
not
used
with
to be that way. I used to tolerate. There's one thing I don't even regret now because I've learned from it now. You can't even try it now. But I know my early 20s and all that, I used to tolerate rude girls. And I won't just say girls that were rude to me. Like, the thing is, should be rude. You know how them girls, like, there'll be girls that'll be rude to you a little bit, but they're playing with it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even that playing, it's still a disguise.
Exactly. It's still
But
a
then
bit of
it's like, I
toxic
see
in
you
that.
outside doing your shit too to other people that is like, And I used to tolerate that stuff because obviously I'm looking at it like, it's a baddie, it's a fine girl. She's cool to me because she will be cool to me. You get what I'm saying?
Of course, yes.
But I'll tolerate it more. And then I think there was one girl in particular I was seeing. This fine ass girl like this, but it's a horrible ass attitude. Man, I felt like I've not even done. I don't do this a lot. I can count on one hand how many times I've done this to a woman. But when I say I cursed her ass out because there was one day, like, you know, when somebody that's just rude for no reason to everybody around you, then she go do her own, you go talk. Then there was one day she was just being rude to everybody in one event we went to. And then when we now go back home, we're trying to talk about it. And then this girl just starts cussing me out. Eh? Man, I think that was when my mother's image just puts in my head, saying my own mother doesn't talk to me in this way. You're the person. Man, I'll let her have it. And the thing is, by the time I finish cussing her out now, then she obviously starts crying now, apologizing for everything. But then I ended it from there, and I made a vow to myself that day. I said, I don't see what's so attractive about having a person that's rude. Not forget woman, even a person that's just rude naturally to not only you, but to other people. But for some reason, I found that attractive at one point. And that's why I said the conditioning came into play where I thought that was what I liked, stuff like that. But it's also a maturity thing with this toxic thing. Like, you have to actually, there's a point as a man, after your experience, you start looking back, what do I really like? What do I like? What gives me peace? Like me, I like chilled, fun girls now. Girls that are respectful, because I'm also respectful. I respect everybody around me, and especially to somebody that's me. I can banter, like I don't want a burn girl that can't joke with me or say jokes. You get what I'm saying? But it should never get to a point that I'm questioning myself or my morals, you know, for you.
Bro, as we are talking, I'm just remembering so many things, but go on.
There's nothing wrong. All of us guys have been in that phase.
There was a time that I was having an argument with another girlfriend, and bro, mid-argument where, you know, that kind of, I'm not arguing again with this, like I'm done with this. She literally got down from the car, and another guy came to pick her up. God. Anyways, I mean, I
got triggered. Sorry, some girl did that shit. Oh my God.
So the thing is again, I think,
wait, sorry. You girls that do that thing, I'm so sorry. No, we have to discuss. Because, sorry, the trigger that just brought back. Because I've seen that thing happen in Lagos too many times.
And obviously, I'll call her phone, like, and she's not picking up.
How can lady, like, I know it's not every lady that does it, but there's some girls that have done it, and especially you younger girls. Let me just give you advice. Don't do that shit that you're gonna do to the wrong nigga. Because am I not like, yeah, like this is all jokes aside, because there's some guys like us now, we were probably younger then, the way we reacted to it, you are chilled, fine. I have seen it happen to some people where that same thing has happened, and the boy that found out, almost the way that nigga I remember there was one guy, he bashed the hell out of this other guy's car. I will never forget this was one dirty December. It wasn't even dirty December, this was like EMG times,
right?
It wasn't my party.
Well, I guess at this point it wouldn't really.
It wasn't my party. It doesn't matter. But I remember we were coming out. The guy was arguing with his babe or something. This girl was now saying, "Oh, I'm not going with you. I'll wait. One guy came to pick her up. The guy now saw it, bro. I don't know where this guy got brick from or something.
Break the fucking
just like this, whoop, right on the back, that back windshield like that. See fight. And I think is half of me was like, I don't blame them, because you two, you're disrespectful. Okay, if I go in the car, if I just say fuck you all that and I go and tell another chick enter the car.
Exactly. You get, I'm like, oh, I don't want to go back home with you, but I'm going back with another babe.
But the worst part, you know what's so fucked up about that situation is that thing will be happening in front of you. Man, this is why I said I don't get involved in friends, relationships and stuff anymore, like from a young age. But it's like, that thing will happen. You don't know behind closed door on that same day, those two go reconcile.
Exactly, and then you're there like, I hope you're not that bastard
looking
again.
Like the fool now, saying you should leave. Why are you in this situation? But behind the scenes, I love you. I didn't mean to. I'm just kind of.
You get, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, we're good now. I'm like, what do you mean you're good now? After what happened yesterday?
After you smashed somebody made you get that angry to smash somebody's window.
Yeah, so I guess to some extent, some guys will like toxicity, but honestly, I would say to my guys, please, I feel like it shows lack of self-worth. In my opinion,
that's a very hard.
Yeah, because for me, if you understand your standard, then you'll be like, in fact, it's not even a thing of anger. You would tell the person, look, I do appreciate that you feel this way about me, but after that display yesterday, I'm better than this, and I cannot I can't continue.
And the thing is, it's actually a good feeling when you actually start having standards as a guy, because you look back now, like, as much as I talk about a lot of these girls, I look back, there's some I know you cannot date me now.
Exactly.
Cannot.
Because
And
those
I'm
things,
not. I'm
those
not even
things you
feeling
do.
myself like I'm bigger than somebody. I'm not. I'm still the same person that's matured.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's some girls back then that said I couldn't date them. That now maybe I'm available. I look like I'm expected to them now. But to me, there's certain girls now. You are the bad one. You're what I wanted. But I cannot look your way. You can't even look my way because
Yeah.
mentally I'm in a different place. Mentally, spiritually, physically. That is like, how did I ever tolerate this thing? And like you said, it's from lack of knowing yourself.
And I think also there's something that comes with being gentle towards someone when you guys are having an argument and expecting just as much. You know when you spoke about like, reciprocal respect? I can't imagine having an argument with someone. We're having an argument. So most of the time if I'm having an argument, it's just I'm bringing my facts, you're bringing your facts. Let's see who's right, who's wrong, stuff like that. Then someone in between you throw, I beg, shut up, you're stupid.
I ain't never
Honestly,
said
at that point-
I have never said that. I've had a girl say that to me.
Thank you. Exactly.
But I
See
ain't
what I'm
never
saying?
said that to a girl.
And
And
that's
I'm
the
like,
point.
you do realize my mouth is probably sharper than yours. If I
So
say
what
what
makes
I
you
want to
think?
say,
What makes you think that this is that? Like, where did you get off thinking we can move in this
it's because we
direction?
tolerate. That's why I said,
Bro, when that happens, I just end the call. I don't even, there's no need. See me.
let me ask you, what would you say was your main reason for staying with a lot of these toxic chicks? I would say my reason was, of course, they were fine. And
I was
some
about
of
to
them-
say,
some
sorry,
of
but
them,
physical definitely played a huge part.
Because
Yeah.
about to say is the looks, the sex was fire for some.
Yeah.
Was fire. But
It's
it
never
ain't
been.
worth
It's
it.
never been the sex for me. Never.
It was for some.
I've never been with anyone because the sex was so good. I'm tolerating toxicity, but she was so good looking that every time you remember, you just kind of like get lost in that. It was more that than sex.
There was a
sex
girl
has
and I,
never
we
been.
used to the only time we'll link up is we get to meet up, fight, have sex.
Yeah, that's
Long time ago.
That's toxic
very,
as hell.
very long time ago. But it was like, yeah, it was so stupid. Now that I
Yeah,
think
that's
about it.
toxic as
Thing
hell.
is,
I've never been
she
in
was
that.
just like yellow bone baddie. I'll never forget, like, everybody was trying to get this girl. Yeah, I was just chilling, doing my thing.
Right.
At first, nice guy to her, she'll give me attitude. Okay, when you're ready, I'm here, available.
Okay
Then
is like,
eventually
oh,
we
voilà.
started talking more, apply pressure, she came through. Then we'll start seeing. It was cool at first, but then even when you
It'll
chill,
always come up.
even when
It'll
you're
come
chilling,
up.
but here's the, like the red flags were there. Even when we'll chill, it will just be like uncomfortable because she'll be like giving attitude and stuff. You're there like, I'm trying to be cool and shit. Like, what am I really doing wrong?
Oh,
Then
thank you.
what will spice it up is somehow an argument or debate will start. Arguments will start. Fights go start that I'm not even really fighting back, but I'm like saying my shit, like, and all that. Then argue back with the next video is like somehow we just start cuddling from there. Pop, pop, good as hell, all that shit. Do my stuff, and then after that
Days.
we chill, and then it's the same pattern, like same pattern. And I'm like, are you two? You are going back.
Nah. I'm in that place now where
Nah, good looks, fellas. Let me give you advice right
Good
now.
looks, I see,
Fine
it
girl
does,
alone.
though.
Leave
It-
fine girl alone unless she has a good heart.
there are
leave
some
fine girl
that
alone
I've
unless
had
she has a good
sit-
heart.
I had to sit myself down. And I had to be like, Nora, stop this. Cut this person off.
I remember there's one my boys kept telling me, "You're going
Now.
back."
Yes.
That's the worst.
That
part. When
you're
your
going
boys-
back- that
when
you're
your
going
boys are telling you you're going back.
You will self-reflect. Know how. You will look at you like, but what else am I really? Oh, and let me tell you the worst part. See, these toxic people, most times, in some cases, they'll say, I'm toxic, but you like it. They'll leave that on one side. Let's put that on one
And
side.
if so, what?
Now, the worst part about them is if they have a nice side.
What do you mean?
Like a nice side where sometimes
Oh, that's the
they're
potential you see.
yes.
And that's what they play upon, because those girls, there's certain girls that know they can be nice, but naturally they're not nice. So the thing is, they play upon that emotion because it gives
It
you
comes
hope.
once exactly.
It gives
It once
you
was
like
yes.
But I've seen those. It's like Captain Save a Ho. It's like that's
Exactly.
what we said before. Like
seen it, you're like,
I'm trying
I
to
know
say,
this game.
Maybe I can change you. You can't be.
Yeah.
Fellas, you can't change that
And
girl
you know-
when she shows herself.
And the thing also is that when they show you that good side, like it's not. So as much as some of them can even have a genuine good side, because they know it's not something that comes in so often, they even extend a little more. So say for example, you're talking with someone now, and the person knows you like them, right? Now they may like you as well, but they're just toxic, right? They're toxic, but they like you as well, and so they like you is why you guys are even having the physical meetup. But then they take it up a notch. Maybe they say something like, "Oh, do you want to stay over today?" God, see, then they take it up to the point where things you would never expect from that person, because oh, she doesn't like me that much.
That smile came from a
do not-
flashback.
do not-
I'm so
do not
sorry.
drop it
That
in.
smile came from a flashback. I'm
So it's
sorry.
like oh, she doesn't really like me. I mean, she's okay with me. I'm putting pressure. Then she will now drop a little. Oh, you know what? I was thinking we should go out next weekend. You're like, sorry?
No, not for me. No. I ain't like dates like that.
No,
So
I'm giving an example of some things they can do that you are not expecting.
Oh,
So say for example, I'm putting pressure and hoping that she agrees on a date sometime,
Yeah.
but she's been giving me like red flag. Then she will not be the one to suggest it by herself. So say for example, maybe your kind of thing is that you guys want to, maybe you want to take a walk, but you just know that from her demeanor, bro. If you say walk now, she starts saying which one is walk. She's just like she'll just shut it down before you even, and so you never bring it up anymore. Then one random day you guys are cuddling or whatever it is, and then she just goes, I think we should go for a walk. Bro, tell me that would not like hit you.
I know. No, I said my own. I knew what I'll be real. The toxic girls I was with, once you pass that, once you've broken my emotional stage and so on, like my emotional shit, all that, I know why I'm there. I'm going to stick to why I'm there. If you change, good for me. If you don't, once you end it with me, I've gotten my peace of mind. Not that I was there to use you, but it's like, you showed me you don't like me now.
Yeah.
But you're attracted to me. I'm attracted to you. All right, we're going to keep it what it is then. It pained me because, like I said, in the back of my head, I'm still trying to hopefully change you.
Yeah, and actually
so
be with
that thing you said about walk, don't get me wrong, I'll suggest it. But once you said no, another, once you now even bring it up, I'm like emotional. So one's like, actions speak loud. Show me. You can't just tell me, because, like I said, even in one of our episodes where it's like we talked with this guy Biani, that he was talking about, like, I was saying the difference between Yankee and Nige guys, how you guys will wait.
Yeah.
Because those experiences you have used, like, I've learned from this one. Us Yankee guys, go.
Yeah.
One go hit.
There's no one go hit, man. Because while you're doing that, you're battling with the fact that you're in such a dysfunctional country. So,
and I think, you know what's funny? Like, I feel like a lot of us in Lagos, especially, like, we play onto we think the stereotypes or things we hear outside is real life when it's not. Because even this whole Lagos babes this, Lagos men that, like, I bought into it, not realizing I'm actually just going for the stereotypes because that's what I believe is only out there. So it's like, for example, the way they say Lagos girls only do this. In my head, I've already conditioned myself to think there's nothing better in Lagos. So those were the only girls I was chasing.
Yeah.
But then,
makes sense.
Like I said, there was a point that I had to work on myself and my self-worth, that is like, okay, there are actually a whole bunch of other girls out here. You're just ignoring them because it's about the thing we keep talking about, like, girls you need, girls you want.
Yeah.
And the toxic ones are always the girls I've wanted. They were
Always.
never the ones I needed. Because any
Always.
girl I need now, you ain't going to be toxic
Yeah,
to
exactly.
me.
She
And
won't be
vice versa. I'm not going to be toxic to you. You get what I'm saying? It's a two-way thing that I feel like sometimes we don't talk about.
Now that you said this, have you had instances where you were toxic to the other person and you just know you're like, this is toxic? There you go. You can drop it. It's so that way we understand.
I ain't perfect. I'll be honest with you.
Also, we're trying to have guys understand that.
One thing I will say from then, because this was then, long time ago. But what I'll say is, even in my toxic period, my toxic thing was I entertained more than ever. So that means I'll give you that hope. Now, right. I was never disrespectful to you. I was never rude to you. I was never, those things that we're talking about with toxic women, whereby toxic women go see this kind of thing, act this kind of way. No. We can still go on our date. We can still go and have a good time. When we still together, it's going to be magical.
But you knew that you were like,
But I know in the back of my head, this ain't going nowhere. But not in a rude way. It's just that phase. I ain't trying to do shit. Or
you also knew that the actions
I'll give you that hope without saying it. So it's like, how some guys will give you that hope, like, don't worry, something can possibly work. I've never said it to.
But you just know that your actions are,
and whether you like to admit it or not, that's toxic, bro.
It's very toxic, very toxic.
So I'll limit.
I'll say for me, it was always. So I'm very bad with confrontations, right? So if someone likes me and is confronting me, I just disappear. I mean, I disappear knowing I'm going to come back at some point. No, so it's a toxic thing. I know. I've owned it, and I've definitely worked on it. Like, so there are some people that I felt like deserved more than that, But my problem always was that I felt like every time I had to entertain whatever discussion or argument was a step forward into feeding into what they wanted or what they. So if I knew that I couldn't really get more from this person, right? It couldn't go beyond what we already had. I wasn't going to entertain any of that. Like, I was just going to, okay, you want to argue about this thing? I don't see why. I'm going to remove myself from the situation and just not have this conversation with you. And it's a very toxic thing to do, right? Because the other person is there, lack of closure. They don't even know what direction. I know.
I had one girl that did that. Like, but the thing is, she was playing this toxic game with me that I'm just like, once I figured it out, it was just like, I'm going to play your game with you too. And I'll say that was toxic on my part for even going down to that level. Because it was like, she knew I wanted her. She knew I liked her, and she liked me. But I knew like she was protecting herself. Now that I think about it, she was probably protecting herself. But that's probably the excuse I gave her. But where she thought I wasn't serious at first. Fair enough. Most guys are gonna think that way, which is fair. But my actions, I was hoping, was showing like I'm serious. And even after a while, I started noticing that's why she started playing. The switch is where I started noticing she started playing on it.
Right.
Like she wouldn't communicate with me the way I would want her to, and then you had those little things like you have an intense conversation one day, you're trying to talk the next day, she not gonna answer you for 3 days. Then it's funny how that's what niggas do too. But
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely guilty.
So when it happens to you now, it's like that's motherfucker. But her own case was different because she knew. But like I said, every time we linked up, fire. Not even just the other parts, but even just the chemistry. Like you, like bro, if you saw us together, you'd be like, "Oh man, these two guys are dating." But bruh, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like think about that. That was one of my hardest cutoffs, but it was actually what opened the door to so much. It opened the door to so much in a good way.
No, so again, I guess the thing about toxicity is that sometimes we also know that toxic thing we're doing is exactly what the person likes and actually what's keeping them. Like how you mentioned then that you just, you would lead them on, so to say, that's what it was, But you knew she was enjoying that process too. Like she was enjoying the things you were doing that was making her feel hopeful. Even though at the back of her mind, she's also saying herself, this guy is just leading me on. This guy is just stringing me along. But she's enjoying it. So would you say then that, where we can't take what we dish?
I mean, we're emotional beings, especially men. We just can't admit it. Like, look how now, even something as simple as confrontation, you run away and we won't talk.
Yeah. To be honest, it's something
because it's weird. With a man now, if I have a conversation with any man, let's talk about it right now. Let's handle that shit right now. But if woman, because you like, unless you're my girl, like you get what I'm saying, I'll be like, no, I don't want to go through that shit. Because I think my toxic side also is like, if we ain't on that serious level, I can't give you that emotional side of me.
So and that's exactly right.
But what's so fucked up? We say that, yes, but you can now sleep with that, which is also emotional.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I said I know
saying
it's toxic.
Your sweet nothings. And now, when it comes to just a simple conversation, see, ladies, I'm not here to attack you. I am here. This is therapy. This is accountability we're talking about. I'll be honest. Like, it was fucked. I'll be honest. Because what's so messed up is you have that same conversation that months down the line, when you finally link up in one random place or so happen to talk, like, yo, let's just talk about this thing. Now you're ready.
Now you're ready. Exactly.
After the emotional trauma she has been through, process it, it's toxic, gone through it, put it deep in a place in the back of her head. You are now bringing it back up. Is that not toxic?
And worst part is, you're not even bringing it back up to give her closure. You're giving it back up to give
yourself closure.
I
have my peace of mind. Yeah. But meanwhile, 6 months ago,
she was. I know it's toxic. And
the worst part, sometimes depending on the individual, once you have that closure for yourself, she might just open that door again. And then you as a bastard now, you can decide like, I want to entertain it. I wanna. Like for me, I have a rule. Like I don't go back.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's definitely not.
I've only spin the block once. I can tell you right now, in my life, I've only spin the block once. I take that back. No.
Definitely haven't. I'd be going around the block a few times.
No, when I say spin the block is once we've had that close. This is my definition. Not that you did something one time month.
But there's that closure conversation you're gonna have.
We've had closure conversation is done. Wow, finished. Not even that it was fight, so it was like,
but just like this is where we are.
I probably spun the block 1-2 times,
and that's it.
Yeah, and that's because we were actually friends.
Fair enough.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. So like beyond the closure conversation.
Yeah, beyond the closure, I was like, we were comfortable enough to spin the block and all that. But normally, once we've had that closure shit, if we're especially cool, if we're able to be cool after, especially, I'll never spin the block because at least now we can be friends, can be cool, and
without
that makes it healthy. Especially for me, like my industry, especially doing parties and all that. Like I'm already very careful. Like that's what I tell people. It's not like every girl you move to. Of course, I know a lot of girls. But I ain't doing shit with all of them because one, I got money to make, number one. Number two, I don't like I'm very particular. Let's just say that. So
I mean, that makes sense. And to be honest, it takes a whole lot because a lot of guys don't even know that these things they do are toxic. They just see it as, I'm just protecting myself or I'm having my standard. Bro, it's been toxic. It's been very toxic. It takes a lot of sitting down, self-reflection to be like, I shouldn't be doing this. So I guess,
Yeah.
in as much as we complain that there are some women that are toxic to us as well, we do have a few things that we
And
need
the
to
thing
work on
is,
as well.
entertaining less women has brought the most peace of mind in my life.
Also give you the room to have to actually have those conversations with a clear mind.
Yeah, like even with just myself, like I said, just the way I handle it, like I said, just looking back at some girls, the time you spend, because you always joke and say, where is this girl today? Where is this girl today? And that's the toxic side of me doing that therapy. Now with the women, like I said, it just was a case of having a self-talk. I remember I had to ask myself, what do you actually like, guy?
Like,
Not that you like a
look
physically appealing. We know fine girl,
yeah.
anywhere you understand. But what do you actually like? And I had to really break it down to myself. And when I realized I love so many toxic traits from women, I was like, yo, something has got to change.
I need to stop and reflect and just rework this whole thing because this is not working. Yeah, I fully agree. And I've talked to a few of my guys sometimes, and a lot of them are oblivious to the things that they are experiencing from a toxic woman.
Because it's not there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here.
Yeah, it's self-reflection. There's just no self-reflection. There's no time to actually sit down with yourself and just discuss with yourself.
But that's another thing too. Is like we as men don't really get that time to do so. Because
it's not that we don't get it. We don't think we need to create it. That's what it is.
There's that, but like even with the way society is, like one thing I learned is what's funny is I learned a lot of my quote unquote healing or learned self-discovery through women, because even something simple as social media, like I'll be watching a lot of these TikToks or watching a lot of stuff that come up from our female friends, and it's like how women talk to each other about self-empowering, self-discovery. Talk to yourself, sis. Do this thing, like you need to work on your goals, make this money. And I'm like, wait, these girls are doing what they're being told, making money,
talking to themselves,
fixing themselves, starting on a new path that you won't even recognize that same babe that you saw maybe last year. They're like, now the same babe. Yeah. Then you too, as a guy, you're not gonna look yourself to saying, if this, not even in a competitive kind of way, but like I said, from my environment, because I was around a lot of women, I'm like, these girls are all bossing up and shit. Not even just on money level, but even like mentality wise. Because when I have those conversations, it's like, oh, I need to step my shit up too.
Exactly. Do you get so? Because it now feels like you can kind of even see when they have the clarity. Like you can tell that this person has gone through that stage and talked to themselves, and now they have clarity.
It's like I joke. I used to say there's some girls that you entertain me. Then always I know now I can't go. No, not that I can't go back. Actually, I take that back. So let me rephrase if I get myself in trouble now. What I mean is, to be fair, I know what I'm going to say. The guy I was then, you entertained,
right?
But there's no way in hell you'll entertain that same guy now.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm not even that same guy now. But when I was really on that bad boy shit, that you were entertaining it, loving it, and even me, I was like surprised. Not even surprised to be sick, because I knew myself. It's more of just like we were two totally different people. So you probably, that toxic thing was probably new to you. But now with this self-discovery you've probably had, she ain't gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad boy. You think at this stage in life, but what's how? But what I'll say is like, for a lot of the young guys that are listening, what I would say is, I would say explore, because exploring helped me discover a lot. And the thing is, there's no rush. Like, there's people's journeys are different. There's people that get married early, people get married late. Like, I'm at a phase, like, now I know what I want when it's time for marriage. I know what I want when I want in a partner. And that's from exploring. And exploring doesn't mean you're sleeping with every single girl, but you at least dated, interacted with the kind of women that, even that toxic phase. What's funny is you still can't even escape that toxic thing from women even at this age.
You know what I think? I still think you even need to experience it enough to know what to recognize what that's
because
toxic.
Even the girlfriend or the future wife you find, look, everybody has a toxic side.
Oh yeah, of course. But but to the minimal,
is what can you handle or interact with that person. Like now, for example, like I'm dating somebody seriously now, and she has a toxic phase or things she does, we at least are mature enough, or I'm at least mature enough to have a conversation about, and vice versa. She has something she doesn't like about me. I'm mature enough to be receptive to it. Not that I'm just defensive. But I will say this though, to round off, like I don't miss them, but sometimes
you miss the streets. Wow,
I don't miss the streets. So God forbid, chill out. What I'm saying is, have you not ever had that feeling sometimes that you just look back and be like, damn, that was a fun time?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it
That was
does.
a fun time. Like,
Well, not even the face per se, but just maybe it's even certain people that were fun, or maybe it's even certain experiences within the people I met that were fun. But yes, I do
I
look
say
back on
more
sometimes.
as me the experience. The woman, like, grateful for a number of women that were in my life. Not even that we fallen out. Like, we're in different countries now, different phases.
Yeah, or even just different stages of
There's someone I'm
life. Yeah.
forever grateful for, but the experience is more. Like the toxic ones, I can't say I miss you because I don't want to go through
Nah,
that.
I don't miss
I don't
anybody
want
that
to
was
go through that
toxic, man. I'm
mental stress
sorry, I
again.
don't.
I don't.
I don't.
But
Like, even no matter how good your sides were, like the fact that your toxicity was enough to kick me out, I'm just like, nah, I don't miss you for
nah,
nothing.
that emotional. Like
Yeah, nothing. It's
I have
such
too
a
much peace in
tussle.
my life right now, man.
It's
Like,
such a
bro,
tussle. I don't miss. No, I don't miss that. I don't miss that. But I do get what you mean. Like, there are times where you actually look back and you're like, we did. There's some good street
that
days.
was fun
There's some
though.
good street days.
That was
Yes,
so fun.
definitely.
What would you say is
Definitely.
one of the most fun things? One of the
So,
most toxic fun things you did with a woman, or experiences you had with a woman?
so let me say. Oh, not me remembering this shit now. So I just remember that there was this lady I met maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Can't really remember now. And so we had just met. And I think, in fact, after our first phone conversation, we kind of hit it off. Like, you could just tell she was good people, like she was good vibes, everything. And then we said, okay, let's meet physically. Let's maybe go out to lunch. So we went out to get some food. We went out to lunch, and then we did like shisha and stuff like that. Just like a nightcap type of chill type of thing. So we really vibed. Like, we really, she was very chill, very fun, very everything. And so I dropped her off at home. I was like, okay, so I'll see you the next day. I'll see you whenever next we plan. And so the next time she was like, oh no, come over instead. I mean, I kind of had an idea that she liked me that way, but I wasn't expecting anything, right? So I still went to hers. We chilled, and of course we started getting more comfortable and stuff like that. I mean, next thing we would, take it up a notch. And then, like, once everything kind of settled down, she was now like, so you're staying over, right? I'm like, well, not today. I've got a few things I need to do, but maybe next time when I come, I will. She's like, okay, cool, no worries. And then the next day she called me. She's like, hey, boss, so you're coming today, right? Next thing it started turning to her, so you're going to be coming every day. Like, she literally stated it like, yeah, I mean, for me to like, see, you have to be coming over to mine every day. I'm like, sorry? She's like, yeah, you have to come every day. Now, I won't lie to you. I actually kind of enjoyed that, I was being forced to come to the house every day, but it was at some point, in fact, it was the reason I also had to stop talking, because I'm like, I'm sorry, like, I also have a life and work.
You can't force me to now sacrifice my whole life.
See, like, literally, what she wanted was my whole life. I could not believe that was what I was experiencing. Like,
but you were enjoying it.
But I was enjoying it. And she would literally call me maybe at like 1 a.m. Where are you? I'm at home.
You see, fuck that. You see, I've had a woman like that tried that shit with me. First off, that's probably my red. Like,
and she was older than I am.
Don't try and control me.
See,
exactly. I knew she was older because the only other woman that gets audacity like that to go and be saying, "Yeah, so are you coming now?" The fuck, like, you think I'm not?
She would even be like, maybe we're texting and I'm like, oh man, I had a really long day at work. Can't wait to be home. She's like, okay, well, let me know when you get home and you're settled, and I'll get home and I'll be like, okay, she gets it. I get home and she's like, okay, so you settled and have you had dinner? Like, oh yeah, I just had something to. She's like, okay, so you're coming over? I'm like, oh my God.
Like, is it swear? Like, guy, chill now.
I'm like, oh, see, but
you are still
next time I'm like, man, I'm tired. I'm like, all right. I mean, if it's fine, if you don't want to see me, that's okay, bro. I'm packing my shit, packing my bags. Oh, and the worst part, she didn't live so far that I could say you are too far.
No, man. After a while, there was one after I just remember now. Like, she was back then.
Long time ago.
I beg you, because we don't want to allow the way you can't reminisce of the story now. They're going to think it's current now. But nah, she was a celebrity actually. But I remember, like, when she came, what was toxic? It wasn't even toxic. Like, when we first met, it was like I already knew the red flags were there in terms of the industry she was in. Not that I'm judging her for her industry,
but just, I mean, of
even
course,
girls in that industry are doing very well for themselves. Like,
but
I know it's not what you understand that I'm ready to go to every time. That's one. But she was my spec in all the ways I wanted and all that. So by the time we came, linked up, but the thing is, like, when we spoke, like, we had a lot of common ground because she grew up like sort of the same way I did. Like, she grew up in the South in America. I grew up in the South. So we had that commonality. Right. But long story short, by the time we were hitting it off, like I remember, like we'll do everything. Like first day, like we went on a movie date, it was good, and that day, like we just hit it off. Like talking to like I remember, like we were talking to like 4 a.m. in my place. Like just stayed up, and obviously did the biz. That was like that's what like you're not going anywhere. Now this is where the toxic side come up. Now you know Yankee babes love hard.
Hey, a little too hard actually.
Exactly.
A little
because
too hard.
a little.
In fact,
no,
scary
not
hard.
Not
Scary
too
hard.
hard. Too quick.
Too quick, too hard, too scary.
By day 2.
Yes, exactly. By day
By
two,
day 2, everything's going well now. Like we still talking. Like
by day
I
two, she's
can't wait to
planning her
see you,
whole life around you.
bro. When I
Like,
say
okay,
by
so
day
we are.
two,
It's always a we. So we going.
by
So we.
day 2, bro, it started showing. And at first, I'm entertaining. Like, oh, okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna okay, fine. Then I remember, like, I went to go see her later on the hotel. Obviously, we're chilling over a while, cuddling and stuff. She's like, you know, I really see myself with you and all that shit. Like, I want to start shit. Like, you know, like I ain't felt this kind of
too.
like, you know, bro. But then the thing is, you two, especially
just
as
know,
you
yes.
two as Nigerian man, you go. You know when foreign babe they tell you some sweet nothings, you two go.
You know, I'm like, I know. Oh man, I know.
And then the third day, this girl told me she loved me. It slipped out. Like, you know when you're there, it slipped out that I'm like,
And then you're there like,
but then, and then that's why I said it was, but I feel like it was toxic because she like knew what she was trying to like try and like secure me.
lock you down.
Because she already knew like I'm doing my own shit, like you get what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
she's trying to like lock me in. And that's why I said a lot of Yankee babes do that. Some of them, not all.
Not all of them,
Some, they
yeah.
try and lock you in early. I'm like, yo, this is some toxic shit. Because by the 4th day, yo, she offered me a flight out. Like paid and shit.
You still have a contact? No?
I can't
Okay.
answer due to legal reasons.
Legal reasons, very fair.
But yeah, she offered me a flight out and shit, and I was just like, nah. And then after I said no, she cut me off completely.
That's exactly, yeah. So the
I
thing
never
is,
got the closure I wanted.
Yep, and also at the same time, you'd be like, man, you knew you
Should I
couldn't
have
get
said
more
yes?
with her.
Should I have said yes?
You couldn't.
But I
Nah,
thought,
nah,
but
you
thing
couldn't
about
get
me
more
is
with her.
I think ahead in terms
Yeah,
of
exactly.
okay, in this first 4 days, everything fire.
But how's it going to be in 2 months?
Especially when we're in your environment now. Okay, what about if you get tired of me?
Then what?
I'm paying for my flight back. Cause me,
Don't
I'm sorry,
fucking
me, I
kill
don't
me.
get shame. Me, I go come meet you, madam. I know things are not working,
But I need to go back home.
I need to go home. Are you
I
paying
need to
for
go
my?
back.
Are you? Cause Naira right now is.
Oh my days! Don't fucking kill me.
Nah, but but like I said, it's an experience that everybody should definitely have it early, because having it late is definitely not the one. But if you have it early, notice the signs. Try and communicate to your partner early, because I didn't start learning how to communicate so late, but start communicating early and notice the signs. That way you two have a value of self-worth that makes everything, not just your relationships as in dating, your relationships with people.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing with this toxic things. Like you also have friends too that can be toxic. You have,
Yeah.
so it's not just
In
lovers.
fact, toxic friendships are actually worse than toxic relationships. You know why?
Oh, that's a topic.
You know why? Yes, we're going to talk about it another, but I'll just touch on it. You know why? Because with friendships, you know that you're not committed to the person. There's no bonding between you guys. But at the same time, you feel so indebted. You feel so, oh yeah, this person asked for this, I should do it.
So one thing about toxic friendship that I had to learn even very as a recent is you have to, in this life, sometimes you have to be very selfish to yourself.
Very, very selfish. That's it.
And
very
when you're selfish to yourself, there's like, especially me, I just bring it to the Christian point of view in terms of you still look out for others, do unto others as you do yourself, be kind, but also use wisdom in everything. And especially with friendships, even if you've known the person for so long, because there's also that survivor's, what's it called again? Survivor's
Instinct.
remorse? Survivor's remorse? Yeah, survivor's remorse, where like you feel, especially when you're going on a trajectory now,
Oh,
or
right, I
you're
see what you
doing
mean, yeah.
something, you have to bring everybody with you, or because these guys were with me this whole time and all that. But
Yes.
you don't realize like they bring a lot of toxic baggage with you and all that, and that's something I
that
had
was
to
that
learn.
was
That
that was,
I
that
had
was
to
the
cut off.
being indebted that I spoke about, where you
Yeah.
feel like you owe them a little something, and so
if I
you
like me, like I always say, like there's certain friends like I know for life a day you get, but
Yeah.
they'll never come to me saying you owe me this. Like in fact, if you're even the
you.
person that's reminding me, you know you have to do this.
Oh,
in the
and
back
don't
of
for-
my head, I'm
and
just
most
like, nah,
times those
fuck
are
that.
even the ones you maybe haven't even heard of. You guys haven't seen in like a year, but like they're your people. You just know that, okay, yeah, That whenever it's them, it's them. In fact, if they call me today and say, I need you to come through for me. In fact, I would even be like, wait, you're asking me to come through for you? I will do it, yes.
No, they're those ones. But then I'm saying there's the other ones that like they hold, let's say, your past against you. Like, and they talk to you like maybe they were the ones that were there for you in a certain period of life. Now you're in a different period of life. Not that you're not still guys or still cool, but
they still bring
they are
that
still
up.
bringing, let's say, that baggage or
yeah,
something
that's
from
what, those
them.
are the
That's
ones I'm
where
saying
it's
that,
like,
exactly.
okay, we need to evaluate that. But like you said, there's certain friends, like even if they did something years ago and we don't see, but we're still cool, like if they call today, like I'm running.
Move from it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but anyway, we'll talk about that another day.
Another
Actually,
topic.
it's a very, very interesting.
But no, let us know what you think about toxic relationships. Let's hear your opinions. That's even what we want, because I think we'll read them, a lot of them on the next episode. We'll start reading the comments and questions again. But of course, make sure you subscribe to our channels, Menisms Podcast, all the audio platforms, so you can listen to all the new episodes that are coming out, because this season we're going to be having back to back. So of course, great convo as usual, my G. I'm Michael Scenario.
And I'm very welcome, Koya.
And we will see you next time on Menisms.
All right.